Hello everyone, welcome to the preview for the Manchester derby, and we're not even going to bother doing a combined 11 because we are shit. I do think this game could be a huge turning point though, going
Oh,
forward, if we manage to, get the job done and
can
that
I
not to be
just
all
say,
negative. What's going on
I
here?
hate, I hate
Sorry,
hearing that. I hate hearing that phrase.
Turning point.
what?
Yeah, every time, every fucking time I hear it, like it just
Well, they've said it after I think it was after the Brentford game, and then they said it
Yeah.
after the Sheffield game, and then the same after the Copenhagen game. But just a win like that over Man City, it can be a big, kind of propeller, whatever it is however you want to word it. It's obviously a massive game. There's pride involved. There's points involved. It's one of the biggest games of the season. It's as simple as that. How are we all feeling ahead of this, lads? Should we all start with you and then end with Sam with the negative?
yeah. I watched you on Shiraz this morning, and when you did like the press conference thing, and
Yeah.
Shiraz had something really, I think he spoke for a lot of United fans when he says we have to have a realistic expectation
Mm.
of what's to come, and I'm just being realistic. I just want a modest scoreline, 1-0, 2-0 against us is what I'm saying. I'm not saying we're going to win. Like,
How crazy is it though that we're in that
yeah,
situation where we've got to kind of be like, just a 1-0 or 2-0 would be
yeah, I'll
nice.
take a 1 or 2-0. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to see another five, 6,
No.
and it could easily be that because so when we played against Brentford and McTominay saved us at the end, and then we went on the international break, I was thinking, well, that could do us a lot of good, just going away, everyone just going away from Old Trafford
Mm.
and coming back sort of renewed, probably not refreshed because some people are playing in internationals, but just come back with a new mind frame, a little bit of belief coming in there. Then we play Sheffield, and that was shit. But then I'm thinking, okay, And then it wasn't until the first half against Copenhagen that I realized that, yeah, this is a problem because Copenhagen they had fun in the first half. They literally just played through us the whole time, and that's FC Copenhagen. I know City are missing Kevin De Bruyne, and they don't have Gundogan anymore, and
Mm.
what's his name, Mahrez is gone. It's Kovacic and Mateus Nunes, but the way they play, like if we continue to carry on the way we're going, I can't see anything other than a hiding, like a proper hiding.
Been coming in it. Either
It's gonna
whether
come
it's
in. Yeah,
City tomorrow or Liverpool at Anfield, there's
yeah.
one there that's going to
And
happen.
one thing that the manager has revealed to us is that this season he's just stubborn. He doesn't change anything. He just carries on the same way.
Did you see his
Um,
comments about Rashford today, by the way?
yeah, I remember he said something. What did he say?
He's basically said, I'm going to keep playing him until he hits form. That's the
Yeah,
be all end
yeah,
all of what he said,
yeah,
which is just like,
yeah.
it's not something I want to hear, to be honest with you, because
No,
players should be dropped if they're not performing.
exactly. And I think he's just gonna and he prioritizes goals now over controlling the game, which is why we've seen McTominay now, and I
Yeah.
think we'll still see him tomorrow. And just before I let Sam go on, I know Rashford hasn't really been in form, and it might be controversial with Scott McTominay, but sometimes those two guys I know have turned up in the big games. Now, I'm not excusing them playing, but I'm just saying they've turned up in the big games before. It's a Manchester derby. They come from the academy. In my,
This fixture last year, Chivy, Rashford scored the winner, didn't
oh yeah, exactly. So he did, yeah. And then McTominay did lob the keeper the other time. It's always one of
he?
them
Yeah.
ones, but. But yeah, I'm not optimistic.
Well, we've already got score predictions in the chat. Henry John's saying 5-0 City. Vincent is saying 4-1 United. So obviously polar opposite predictions there. Hopefully Vince is right. Sam, like Chewy says there, on paper, we've got 3 wins in a row, but that doesn't really necessarily tell the whole story. And being honest, we've scraped the wins against bottom of the table fodder. It's as simple as that. if we manage to win this game, I mentioned it off camera before, we go 3 points behind Manchester City, which is just absolutely mental. And as we know, things can happen in a derby. I know you're probably feeling, slightly apprehensive ahead of this one, but if you're to cling onto anything at all, where would the hope come from, do you think?
First off, gonna need this. So cheers.
Yes, sir. Cheers.
What? Yeah, like Chivy said, it feels like as a United fan, I'm kind of clutching at straws with sort of looking for positives, as it were. But we've said this before. Me and Chivy are a bit older than most of the lads on this channel. We've seen United do shit like this before, where we've been terrible, we've been down in dumps, and then we've had a derby game or we've had a big semi-final or something like that, and we've pulled it out and we've performed. So it's not out of the realm of possibility for us to do it again. We've also got players who show up in derbies. Scott McTominay, that famous goal just before COVID, sort of shut the season down. Had that goal. He likes a goal against City. Rashford, like you said, scored the winner in a derby. We've got players capable of that. So I'm not saying there's absolutely zero chance that we could pull something out, because we've seen City be poor this season against Wolves, against Arsenal. They are not this unstoppable force that they seem to be last year. So they seem a little bit more fragile. Maybe it's due to the changes in the personnel. Like you said, Gundogan's gone, Mahrez is gone, and they brought in Doku, who looks frightening. Like, he fucking terrifies me that he's going to play. And then Rodri's now back, which is not the best news. We could have done with him being suspended a bit longer, because they looked lost for ideas without him.
Yeah, Kovacic didn't look great today.
So it would have been good to not have him, but yeah, you can't have everything. De Bruyne is out, which is a good sign. And then Rashford apparently had Haaland had a goal drought, even though he scored 9 goals in 9 games.
Crazy, innit? They were saying it was a flop over the past couple of weeks. I was like, are you fucking mental?
He's got if Rashford had 9 goals in 9 games, you think people?
Yeah, we'd be like, I'm saying he's at Mbappe level.
Yeah,
he's doing it last season.
Yeah, so there's positives. Can we win this? Absolutely. Has it been done before? Absolutely. Do we have players that can do it and win it? Yeah. But City would need to be off their game like they were against Wolves and against Arsenal, because I don't think Ten Hag is going to outdo him tactically, and I don't think we've got the players or the system set up where he can do that. But I think if Pep decides, because sometimes Pep does weird shit, doesn't he? Like, he drops certain players, he plays weird formation things, and it doesn't come off, and he does weird shit like that. He used to do it in Champions League all the time. So that could happen. City could have a bad game. We could be absolutely on it, twat him on the counter, like the shit, stuff like that could happen. I don't personally see it, but not to say that it can't happen. If people want hope, that's the hope I can give you. But me personally, I just, don't see it.
Well, if we were to get anything tomorrow, Chaved, now's the perfect time to start converting the chances that you get in it. Like, if you look at the chances we've had, I would implore anyone to go watch highlights. If you've got it in you mentally, watch the highlights of our games this season and watch how many chances we've fluffed. It's unbelievable. But, Rashford, like we said, has a great record against top 6, and he's got a fantastic record. I think someone put him before. He's got 8 goals in derbies, which is interesting. Anthony scored against City last season as well. Højlund hasn't scored in the Prem yet. Any hope on that side, or do you think we'll struggle again converting chances? Same behaviour.
Of course, like, anything can happen, and you can only be hopeful. But I just haven't seen the evidence to suggest that, we could do something. I'm always going to back my team, and I'm always going to hope that, they can pull something out. What I really, really hope for is that we see some kind of change, right? In formation or personnel.
Wild card in itself. We've talked about Pep doing wild card there as maybe something.
So if you notice, when we played Copenhagen, when Højlund came off and Martial came on, Garnacho moved to the left and Marcus Rashford went to the right.
Yeah.
And that kind of looked different.
He looked better on the right than he did on the left.
Very comfortable on the right-hand side, Marcus Rashford. So if I'm not saying Ten Hag should go with that, but then I'd like to see something different, because it just seems I've mentioned this before, like in the group chat, like it sometimes it seems like all the managers, like whenever they're about to play Man United, they have this group chat when they just go, "Oh yeah, lads, just do this, it'll work. Don't worry." Like, because they do exactly the same thing. Like, they've stopped us from playing out from the back, and they just force us to go long or force us to go wide, and that's it. And then we turn the ball over, and then they can just, they get the ball, and then it's on again. And every time the opposition gets the ball, it always seems like something's going to happen. Always. So I'd love to see something different this time. Just, some kind of change somewhere.
I said it earlier today about I know Sky are going to put a graphic up of Haaland, Højlund, appearances, goals, minutes converted, all this kind of stuff in the Premier League. You just know they're going to do it.
This is the same Sky that put up that Maguire stat. You remember that?
Is it again?
Yeah, Tottenham and Crystal Palace at 8 o'clock.
No way.
Yeah. Fantasy.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Yeah, but Sky Sports put up that thing about Harry Maguire, didn't they? So it was just like games won without him and games with him. And you just like, I don't understand the need for necessarily that graphic, but like you said, there's going to be that Haaland versus Højlund graphic. It's just like people who don't know football are going to look at it and go, "Oh, see, Haaland's so much better." It's just like, just think about the context, my friend.
Come on,
think about it.
Come on, innit? Also, Sam, the midfield. I mean, I don't need to get into your team prediction too much, but that is still a conundrum for us. I feel like we talk about it every week. Eriksen's been great the past couple of games. He's been needed to open up teams. But obviously, we spoke in the same breath last season when he played against City that he really struggled with Walker and De Bruyne are just going past him. So how do you manage that? Do you think there'll be surprise selections in the midfield?
I think Casemiro is the big question mark at this point, isn't it? Because
running against the clock, I think it's a smokescreen personally.
It's possible. It's possible. So I think Eriksen is great for certain games, like games where you expect it to have possession and you need to unlock defenses, you need that killer pass. For example, he came on against Copenhagen and just started unlocking stuff. Sheffield United, the same thing. City isn't the game for Eriksen. I know he's done really, really well, like recently against those teams, but City's not the game because you're not going to have most of the possession. You're not going to have a low block where you're going to need to unlock stuff. And it's going to be a different type of game. So as good as he's been, it's probably not the game for him. But then who do you go with? Like, is it a Mason Mount type game? Is it an Amrabat Casemiro?
Well, he's been benched twice, and it's Mason Mount.
And he didn't even come on. He didn't even come on.
That's what I mean. You think maybe he's saving him for this game? I don't know.
Possibly. Don't know. So it's a question mark. Like, I'll get into the team that I think he's going to go with. Personally, if Casemiro is fit and it's not a smoke screen, I'd love to see the Amrabat midfield. Like, that's what I would like to see.
Camera brew, some might say.
And then I would have put Eriksen in the 10 so he doesn't have to do the work of the 8 that he's expected to do when Bruno's still on the pitch. Because when Bruno's on the pitch, he's not going to play that 10. But he's not going to do that because Bruno's not going to be dropped. It's just not going to happen. So, it's going to be an interesting question. I think I'll reveal who I've picked in my team and stuff like that. But I'd love to see Casemiro and Amrabat, but I don't see it personally. But
it's weird with City because you look at all areas of the pitch and they're just strong. They've got so many players who can just come in and chop change, like they can play anywhere, so versatile. And obviously as competition. In fact, just take a look at the opposition very quickly. When it comes to teams in Europe, they're obviously the toughest test you could possibly get, especially with the ball. But I think without the ball as well, Chive, something that they don't really get mentioned with Man City. Are they still favourites for you? With this Premier League title, do you think?
Yeah, I think they are. They've got the belief. City, let's not forget, for the past 2 seasons, they always start kind of slow, kind of give everyone a head start, just to make it more interesting. They gave Arsenal like 15-point head start at some point last season. Yeah. And then after a while, they're just like, fuck it, let's go. So I still think, I mean, it's very rare that in the Premier League you see a team go up, from start to finish, like the whole season. It happens, but it's not. It's quite rare to see
Do you
that.
think it's the effect of the treble? The fact that they won? Do you think it was always
Yeah,
going to happen?
yeah. Even when we're at our best, we never just dominated from start to finish. I remember we used to start maybe a couple of games, draw here.
Under Fergie, he didn't get going to like Christmas time.
Nah,
Like
yeah,
Christmas time is when we started to.
It was always like a slow build up, and then would kick on from there. But I think City are still like as good as you can get. I know at the moment, like they're missing John Stones as well, because what Pep was doing with Stones in the midfield last season was just insane.
Mastermind.
Yeah, and with him not there, it leaves a chance for people. But just a quick thing on what Sam was saying earlier. I kind of disagree to a certain extent with Ericsson.
I do as well.
Because I think if we're playing in transition, he's the best player that you could that we have right now that could help that transition. So a typical example would be, I believe it was the Brentford game when we get the ball. Who wins the ball in our half and gives it to the one where Marcus Rashford could have easily squared it for Bruno, or I think he squared it behind Bruno. Basically, we win the ball in our half. The ball goes out to Ericsson. Ericsson without looking, just plays a one-time through pass to Rashford, who's coming in on the right-hand side. Do you remember that?
I don't. My memory is fucking terrible. I'd have to go back and literally.
Would you play him in the 8 though, or is this him playing in the 10? Because if he's playing in the 10, I agree with you. But he's not going to play him in the 10.
But then equally, in that 10 position, if you're trying to press from the front with your front 5, if one person is slightly off, they cut through you like a hot knife through butter. And Ericsson ain't that guy.
Yeah, but this season we haven't really played with the 10, to be fair.
Yeah, it would have been fucking anywhere else other than the 10, to be honest.
Yeah, we haven't really had like a lone 10 sort of thing, like doing the Bruno thing. It's been all around. So, but I get what you mean, like Sam, in terms of if we're going to have to be defending an onslaught, yeah, Ericsson isn't the one you want. But if we need a quick thinker, an intelligent player with awareness, who can be calm on the ball and just thread that ball through for the transition, I think it would be great with that. But City's off the ball plays is insane. I haven't watched too much of them this season, to be fair, because I just find it painful, like most times. So, but I think they're just intelligent with the way they set up. They've played the system so long that they can play it in their sleep, and everybody just knows where they need to be. There's no one really questioning. No one, when players get the ball and then they're doing like this, like where should I? Nah, City don't do that because they know
rhythm, practice.
Yeah. It's just constant. Hopefully, we'll get there one day, but yeah.
We have anything but that at the minute. The timing, the rhythm, everyone looks like a bunch of individuals. However, I will make a bold claim, and I think Amrabat and Casemiro are going to click tomorrow, and I think that's going to be the one.
I hope so.
Double pivot.
Play.
Yeah,
I've got a good metaphor. City are like an old school jazz musician. They're just in time and in the flow and stuff. Like we're the awkward white guy dancing in the corner who just can't quite. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's
trying to do the robot.
Yeah, just looking awful.
Or be a crouch, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We was talking about number 10s there and attacking players, and one player who's been in stellar form for them, Sam's Julian Alvarez. I mean, the kid's like 23, already won a World Cup and a treble at the age, that young age.
And
4 goals and 3 assists.
How much did he cost?
He's 15 million.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Ragnick was mentioning this guy. That was the first video I did, I think. As like one of my solo videos was on Julian Alvarez and why we should sign him.
1 second. 15 million.
15 million. 15 million.
12 years ago, 13 years ago, we paid 17 million for Nani.
Yeah.
Right?
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
we paid. When did we buy? We bought Rio for 30 million.
I
think. And Julian Alvarez.
When was that? Early 2000s, wasn't it?
Yeah,
when we got Rio?
30 million. His most expensive defender at all time, and then they're still buying players for 15 million who were that good. Like,
and this season, he's kind of stepped up with obviously the absence of Kevin De Bruyne. He's come into the team, got more minutes, got 4 goals, 3 assists in 9 games.
Yeah. Man City bought James Milner for 25 mil from Villa.
Well, we sold fucking Dan James for. We bought Dan James, sorry, for the same price.
Yeah.
Julian Alvarez. That's the difference. If anyone wants to know the fucking difference, it's right there.
Yeah.
Is he a worry for you tomorrow, Sam? I appreciate they have a lot of talent, but he's the one who's banging form at the minute, isn't it?
He seems to go under the radar, doesn't he? Because everybody talks about Haaland, everybody talks about De Bruyne and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this kid is just, every time he plays, he's scoring, he's assisting.
So talented.
He's just involved in every single gameplay, and he never seems to dip. Like, every single game, he's just on it, and he provides something or produces something. And for £15 million, I cannot believe this talent that they've managed to grab. Then he's gone to a World Cup and he's won the World Cup and he's won the treble and he's not even 25. Like, it's just fucking.
Well, it's the Aguero replacement, isn't it? Like, they lost Aguero, they spent 40 million on him. He served for like 8 years, whatever it was. And then it's just 15 mil. Yeah, no worries, replaced like that.
It's like business like that. Like, people think, oh, see, you've got all this money and they whack it around, and they are doing dodgy financial stuff, but they don't normally spend a shit ton of money on players that often. Like, they're normally quite smart with their purchases a lot of the time.
And never go over 50 million. Like on a
you've got Grealish with the obvious example. But like, Haaland was what, 56?
Yeah, the combination of Haaland and thing is not basically Haaland is more expensive than both of them together.
If you're to believe the books and stuff like that.
Exactly. Rodri, I don't imagine cost that much. Akanji,
30 million.
Akanji and Aki cost fuck all. Like, Bournemouth, you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like,
we was linked with Ake. Do you not remember when he was at Bournemouth? We was linked with him, and we was like, I don't know.
It probably would have cost us like 60 million to buy Ake. That's why much we would have bought him.
Oh yeah.
But like, they're smart with their purchases, and like, people think, I know so many United fans who, if we went, say next summer, we went and bought like 5 or 6 30 to 45 million pound players, people would be like, who's this fucking dusty guy? Who's this guy? Like, they'd be so pissed off, but like, because we haven't signed the star and stuff like that. But like, these teams who aren't Brighton are doing it, Villa are doing it, like, and they're doing better than us. And it's just like, you don't need to spend a shit ton of money to get quality. And City are doing it. The best team in the world, won everything. They're proving it. And Julian Alvarez is the ultimate example of that. Name me a better player you could buy for 15 million. I'll wait.
It's scary to think that they got Rodri, Julian Alvarez, Akanji, and Edison for less than Maguire. That is scary.
There you go.
But all 4 of them players
like,
less than Maguire.
Chivy's talked about it. Like, they've got joined up thinking all the way up from the manager, all the way up to the recruitment, all the way up to the top board. Everybody's in sync with what they're doing. We've got Richard Arnold running around Barcelona 4 or 5 times with his fucking suitcase, and then getting pied by De Jong, getting pied by.
How we could have done with De Jong, though, man. Look at the scene now. I'm like,
Rabiot's mum's telling him to get fucked. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we're just a fucking joke. Whereas City have just got all this joined up thinking, and like, all right, who do we need? We need a striker to replace Aguero. All right, let's go to South America. Let's find the most talented kid, and we'll pay fuck all for him. And he just
they actually have a scouting network there, so it helps having a fucking network in place in South America. I don't even think we've got one. Ours is just like, do you know anyone who's can play football?
Chivy, do you remember that show we did a long time ago where we were talking about the United Scout is the easiest job in the world?
Yeah, we do.
Because we don't fucking use them. Like, they sit on the beach and just go, I've got this guy, and you go,
we might have them.
They go on holiday. Like, I can name it. Do you remember that Angelo Henriquez or whatever his name is?
Yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah, we do. We go to all these places, gather up names, and then nothing fucking happens.
Yeah. Well, there might be some changes made if rumours are to believe with Sir Jim Ratcliffe potentially coming in. So let's see what happens with that. Just the last bit on Manchester City. Did you see Pelistri's comments, Chive? What he said?
Something about we are Man United and... Oh, no, he said Manchester United is red or something like that.
It's all about United. Manchester is all about United. You don't see City shirts or flags. Sometimes with my girlfriend, we go out and say, let's try to find one, and we don't see them. And Pep said in his press conference something like, oh, whatever that guy says in his girlfriend's fine. I don't really care. Something like that. It just reminded me of, McGregor when he's in the presser. And he's like, this guy right here, £155. He goes, who's the fuck is that guy? And he's just like, oh. just reminding me of that a little bit. But do you think, just the overall perspective with Manchester United and City right now, if they continue on the trajectory they're on right now, do you think that tide will start turning if they keep winning Premier League, Champions League, etc.?
Yeah, and we are the living example of that. Like, before Fergie came, we hadn't won the league for how long? I don't know how long it was.
It's a long time. It's a long time.
20 years, I think it was.
20 years, yeah. And Liverpool, do you know how crazy that sounded? For Ferguson to come and say he's going to knock them off their fucking perch, like, then it was, are you insane? Like,
and people wanted him gone as well, like Fergie. Yeah. They were like, Tara Fergie, like, signs in the fucking thing. He got rid of players who were well thought of, like Norman Whiteside and Paul McGrath, like, was kicking, and like people are kicking off at Ten Hag now for kicking Ronaldo out because he's a United legend. Fergie did the same shit, man. He did the same shit.
Yeah. So it's possible, but to be honest, it would take some time. It would take some time because
patience.
The brand of Manchester United is insane at the moment now. Because let's be honest, that was a whole different time then. There wasn't this much. The world wasn't as connected as it is now. And there wasn't that much superstardom at the time, when Liverpool was here. Now you have stars, created stars and things like that. So it will take time for that to happen, but hopefully it doesn't. But within England, I think at the moment, yes. Well, in Europe right now, City are by far the most successful club. In terms of being a bigger club, when you look at everything, it'll be a hard one for them to do. It'll be really, really hard. Because there's a certain prestige that comes with the badge at Man United. I know a lot of things have happened and we've kind of slipped down, but there's a certain prestige. And it's really not that hard to get it back. All we have to do, like I was saying a couple of weeks ago, just win on the pitch. That's what you need to do. And
everything else will follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Well, I think they've won, is it 5 out of the last 7 Premier League titles, City? Yeah. If they continue doing that for the next... I mean, you look at the age profile of the squad, I mentioned this quite a lot, but we mentioned Julian Alvarez there. Haaland is only, 22, 23, Haaland? Just scary as fuck. And then you've got a load of other players that they've got at quite a good age. Like, it's frightening for me, especially if Pep decides to stay there and just continue doing this, because he can just dominate football for a long, long time unless someone kind of puts a fork in that, like Jurgen Klopp did with Liverpool. But, yeah, I suppose that's...
The slight difference is they don't really have anyone iconic.
Yeah, I mean, the only moment they've got is the Aguero moment, isn't it? Yeah. Really, like.
Yeah, but like even players, like we've got like David Beckham is an iconic player.
Yeah,
like, Cristiano Ronaldo is iconic. These are world brands. Like, City would have to compete with just Ronaldo in terms of brand names, right? Yeah. So our players would, in terms of names, can compete against clubs. So they don't really have the iconic sort of players.
Oh, that's bottom out of really. Like, they won the treble and no one's.
It feels bought, doesn't it? It feels less authentic. I know United spent money. Like, I'm not saying United didn't spend money, but like we built from like the Drake lyric. We started at the bottom and now we're here. Like we built our way up. City just was like, they got a shit ton of money and then just started chucking money at stuff and just seeing what worked, and eventually they figured it out, got the right people.
It's not authentic. It don't feel authentic at all.
The story, like our story is just it's too much.
If you the history of Manchester United, you go from like Munich disaster to like City, there isn't any history, man. Like there isn't. Like it's just that isn't there. So when they've now succeeded, it's just like, how did they succeed? Oh, they got a shit ton of money and a guy with endless pockets.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. Right. With that in mind, then I went off slightly there, but let's do some quick fire questions. Tomorrow night, Sunday afternoon. Jesus. Man United versus Man City in the Premier League at Old Trafford. Will United concede more than 2?
Is this a rhetorical question? I thought we were doing quick fire questions, not rhetorical.
This is quick fire. You answer that however you want, mate.
That's kind of rhetorical. Yeah, it needs no answer, basically. I think we'll concede more than 2.
Okay. Okay. Henry Jones saying yes, yes, yes. I think, yeah. Sam, is it again? Do you need to answer that, or do you want me to move on?
I refer to my Nigerian colleague.
Yeah. Okay. Will Casemiro start?
Yeah.
I haven't picked him, so I'm gonna have to say no.
Who will score first?
I'll go out on a limb. I'll say us.
Is that inside 20 minutes?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well,
and then we'll just get battered for like the rest of it.
yeah.
No, I think City scores first.
Okay. Any red cards or VAR decisions?
VAR, absolutely.
It will be drama, but
I think so. I think it's gonna be a red card.
Yeah.
I
Red
think
card.
I think there's going to be a VAR because it happened at Arsenal, and then they tried to do it against Copenhagen as well. Like, it just seems like this season VAR is like out to get us, man. Like, it just seems like it's out to get
I
us.
think this game stinks of a Casemiro red card. If you start,
Really?
really do.
Why have you put that in the universe? That's
I feel strongly about that as well. I genuinely think
Jesus
it's going to be a red
Christ.
card.
Oh,
I think it's going to be relatively competitive, and I think someone gets sent off, and then it's
fuck's sake.
bye-bye United. Who is your prediction for man of the match?
Alvarez. Julian Alvarez.
Yeah. That's the easy one. I'll just go with Alvarez. But
Yeah. I'm going to go with Rodri. I think he dictates that midfield.
I'm going to go with Maguire.
Maguire, Barry. I mean, look, he's been playing all right in fairness to him. So if he continues that form, then absolutely fine. But
If he scores,
that could very easily be switched, can't it? If he makes a mistake tomorrow, everyone's back on his back again and say, fuck off. Blah, blah.
If Maguire scores the winner in the derby against City, all's forgiven.
Oh,
I forgive everything.
mate, yeah.
I don't care.
Don't worry about it, Barry.
Like, you
Tell
can
you
make
what,
all
you go with that
mistakes.
scout in fucking Brazil and you go pop your feet up, mate. Don't worry about it.
He can make all the mistakes for the rest of the season if he does that. I don't care. I'm fine with it.
Gray 100 saying City will nail us. Henry Jones saying Anthony Taylor. Is that the ref?
Yeah.
On the weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely going to be a red card or a VAR there.
Is he
Shah
the
Sam
one-
saying 4-2 United.
Was he the one who sent Casemiro off for choking?
You might be right.
Crystal Palace player.
Yeah, Will Hughes.
Yeah.
What did
Might be
Sharkman play?
4-2. He thinks United.
4-2.
If we score 4 goals against Manchester City tomorrow, I will shave my head off on live.
Shah Sam's on crack. Whatever he's taking, give it to me.
4-2.
Yeah.
4-2 United. Yeah. I love the positivity. I'll take
Big
it.
up yourself, man.
Yeah. Big up. Come on. We need some positivity.
Yeah, I love that,
Should we get into the predicted 11, Sam?
Yeah. Tim99, who's a member as well, has said 2-2 United to score first. So
I'll take that. I will take that.
I've completely fucked this.
A bit of a battle at Old Trafford, back and forth. Oh wow, yeah, we've gone into Doctor Strange there, multiverse.
I fucked this completely. Let me quickly fix.
You do your thing. Tim99 saying 2-2 to United to score first.
I'll put yours. I'll put your 11 up there, Nick. You talk through your 11 while I sort this out.
Yeah. Andre Onana, please don't make any fucking mistakes tomorrow. I'm begging you. Please continue with this form that you're showing, because that save, dragged us out of shit, and I'm hoping that can kick him on. Dalot right back, because I know Wan-Bissaka's back in training, which we haven't even spoken about. I completely forgot about that. But Wan-Bissaka is back in training, but I think too early for him to start. So Dalot You'll have Varane and Maguire, the same partnership, because they've been pretty solid. Reguilon comes in at left back. Should be fully match fit now, because came off at the 60th minute, I believe. Amrabat and Casemiro, I think, as the double pivot. I think that's what you need. You need them two in there, otherwise I'm going to be worried. With Mason Mount just ahead of him, I think Bruno goes out on the wing, and I think Højlund and Rashford up top, I think. Who's next?
It will be Chivy.
Oh, you're lining up the thing.
Yeah. Right. Let's put Chivy's on, and I'll just neaten all this up. There you go.
I swear, I don't remember what I said.
Of course you don't.
I think I went Scott McTominay in the midfield. Well, the back four picks itself, really. And
I don't want to see McTominay in the midfield.
I think I said McTominay. I don't want to see him play.
I know you don't. This is your predicted what you think.
But I think Ten Hag would just do Ten Hag things.
Yeah.
He would play McTominay. Bruno and Castle. Well, the same midfield we had in the last game.
Yeah.
I think that's what he might do.
Okay.
I
And
think
you have Anthony, Højlund, and Rashford up top.
Yeah, I think that's what he'll do as well, because he's not going to drop Anthony. That's his son, yeah. And yeah, it's pretty much his son.
Or he's got pictures of him somewhere on a hard drive.
Yeah, so I think it will be the same lineup. I hope it's not, but I think it will be the same lineup. And also, what Tim said 2-2. I think we might just do it.
Oh, you changed your tune.
When you said it, when you read it out, I can kind of see it, but
Chivy's gone on a roller coaster through this preview. Like he's been up, he's been down, he's been.
I think we're going to need one of them decisions like we did last year, where remember that offside decision where Rashford just left it for Bruno, and everyone was fucking losing the shit. It was like City fans were like fuck off, and we were like, I don't care, mate. I'll take it. It was offside, but I don't give a shit. I'll take the goal.
I would love it if like a decision went for us, like say, for example, like Rashford and it handballs it and it goes into the net and they don't catch it, and then City fans lose their fucking shit for the next 2 weeks. That would be amazing. I'd love that.
And hand a Rashi there, little pop. Yeah. Right, Sam, run us through yours, please.
There we go. So I've gone almost the same as Chivy. I think I have actually gone exactly the same. Yeah, I think McTominay's going to play. I just think he will because it's against City. And he's played him for the last couple of games. McTominay always plays against City for some reason. He's not dropping Anthony, even though I'm begging him to because I don't know what he offers the team anymore. He's not going to drop Bruno. He's not going to drop Rashford. So I could stop asking for that and stop wishing for it. It just ain't going to happen. And then, the back fours picks itself because we don't have anybody else. I'd love to see Wan-Bissaka, but he's not ready yet.
Yeah. Especially against Doku, innit?
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Oh, yeah, true.
And Lindelof, I think, is a risk against Haaland. I think it's a bit risky to play him, so he's obviously going to pick Maguire there. So yeah, that's my team.
Thank God Varane's fit because I feel like we're going to need a lot of box defending
leadership.
Tomorrow.
You need leadership.
As well, yeah. With Haaland and Julian Alvarez, it's just like such a tough ask. But with everything we've spoken about, it's time for the good old score predictions, lads. Chivy, what are you going with?
Haven't we done that already? Did we do that?
No, we did quick fires where how many will we concede, who score first, etc. But
I'll tap into Tim's energy and I'm gonna go 2-2.
Okay. Sammy, you want to tap into the dark side of the moon?
Yeah.
with your energy.
Yeah. Again, I say this, and I would love nothing more than to be so wrong and be so.
You always preempt this because you just know what's going. Yeah. Like, but it'll be 9-0.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So like, I please. I want if I am wrong, I am happy to take the abuse. Saying how can you do that? Like, I'm happy because the team won. I think it's going to be 3-1 to City.
Oh, I wasn't as bad as I thought.
I don't want to predict a mauling, but it could happen. So I'm just going to stick with 3-1 because that's as high as I can go without it being embarrassing, I think.
Well, we got the legend.
Do you remember when we lost 2-0, but it felt like it was 7? When Bayer
dominated us. Yeah.
City just took the foot off the gas, didn't they? Like they battered us, and then just went, I can't
be
asked anymore.
They didn't make a single change.
No.
Yeah.
They were just passing it around.
Sometimes just watching it and being like, oh my God, this is like FIFA when you can't get the ball off someone and they're just moving it around side to side and just like light work.
A single change. They just gear 2 all the way.
I really don't know what to go with here. If I'm giving an honest, I can't even say it. I can't.
Are you saying like a 6-7-0? Is that what you're thinking?
I think it's gonna be bad.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be bad. Yeah, I think it's gonna be really bad. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to predict a really bad score. Is
it 5+ in your head?
It's close to that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I want us to win 2-1 in a thriller with Højlund scoring and Rashford scoring the winner. United fans don't get what they dream of.
I want us to win by like dodgy VAR penalty or dodgy VAR decision just to upset City fans.
Something for them to fucking moan about.
Just be like, Like, I want Casemiro to like 2-foot Haaland and get away with it or something. Like, just something like that. That'd be interesting.
You know what? I'll tap into Henry's energy there because he's going 5-0 City. So yeah, I'll just go with that.
Fucking hell.
Sorry, I know it's bad. But it's the reality of the situation.
It's realistic. That's actually a realistic.
We are
story.
due an absolute spanking.
We have gotten away with so much this season.
We have. And I think it's either tomorrow, it's crunch time, it's either turning the page, as they call it, or it's you crumble.
Because City don't.
Daddy's home. That's what's happening on Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're the type of team where they don't really miss chances.
Nope.
That much, yeah. And we scraped against Sheffield. Copenhagen missed chances.
Brentford,
they hit the bar.
Forest, Wolves. I can't name a good
All
performance.
the teams we beat are shit.
And they should have won the game as well because we played fucking awful every single one.
But before we go, let me just double check the odds on United winning tomorrow because I'd love to see what the bookies have put. It's probably similar to Tyson's and fucking Ngannou's things. I think Tyson's like 1-14 to win or something. Right, let's check these odds out.
I swear to Christ, if anybody puts like any low odds for United winning, they're on crack. Like they cannot seriously think.
Yeah, they'll say it's a derby, it's at home, it's blah blah blah. So we are 4-1 to win. So you put 20 quid on us, you win 80 quid back. Well, plus your 20, so 100.
It's not It's a bit lower than I was expecting. I thought it'd be a bit higher.
Yeah,
not too bad.
That's respectful.
Yeah, I mean it'd be worth a little.
What's City like 1-16 or something like that? Is that
City are 4-6.
4-6. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Let's hope the bookies aren't right, but I think we know the scripts with that one. Anyway, that concludes the preview for today, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate you spending your Friday night with us. Hopefully we haven't, doomed and gloomed you too much, and we can offer some, a little bit of positivity. The match is, of course, Sunday, so we'll be live for a pre-match build-up. I think Trey has mentioned on the show before. He'll be live with me before that, and then obviously we'll have a review after the game. Tomorrow there'll be a pre-record, something dropping on whatever's relevant news topics, etc. at the time. So keep an eye out for that. Make sure you turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a single thing. Make sure you drop us a follow on socials, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, all that good jazz. And have a lovely weekend, more importantly. Same goes to Chivi and Sam. Cheers for joining us.
Cheers, man. At least United can't ruin our weekend because it's on Sunday, so at least we get to enjoy most of the weekend before they fuck it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's end it on that note. Perfect. Cheers, guys.
Peace.
In a bit.